Yo, what's going on, people? Just wanted to jump on the mic real quick and talk about a little topic that I've been thinking about for quite some time now. But before I get into the topic, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's viewed my videos. I was going over my analytics and I saw that a few people were watching my videos every day, which is pretty cool. The number's gone up ever since I've started this YouTube channel, obviously. I think we're approaching like 10 to 20 views on average daily, which is awesome. That's fucking awesome to me, guys. So thank you so much for that. Now, I'm still finding my way on this whole YouTube thing, but I typically find myself poking fun at certain videos online or just talking about more serious content online. A lot of reactionary content, to say the least, and I plan on keeping the ship steady on that course. But I do want to drop the occasional video, the occasional personal video, I should say, me talking from the heart. Well, not literally talking from the heart, but you get what I fucking mean. Like the first video I posted on here, that being my quarter life crisis video. It was a horrible video. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was talking to a microphone for the first time. It was a horrible time, but I still do love that video because that was my first step into YouTube, and a video that I recently posted as well. It was something along the lines of I'm 28, watch this before you're 30, and it was basically just a bunch of life lessons that I learned before the age of 30. No, I'm not going to act like I'm an angel, that I've done everything perfectly. Obviously, nobody ever does, but that video, I learned some shit along the way. So if you're into that, go check that out. I'd appreciate it. But enough of the video promotion. I just wanted to go on a rant about people having kids in today's age. Now, before you think I'm in the WWE suplexing, top roping your dreams of having kids here, I'm not. You can do whatever the hell you want with your life. I don't really care. I just want to make it clear that I have no beef with children. I actually think we need to protect the kids in today's society and keep them as youthful as possible, because society nowadays is kind of fucked up, as you guys probably know. There's a lot of easy exposure to a lot of very, very bad things out there, as you probably all know. The only people who I personally know who have kids are my cousins and a few friends who had them in their early 20s. Let me tell you, I love being an uncle to them. They are so cool to hang out with and play with, but personally I could just never have them on my own. I feel like I understand that's my opinion on this matter. Not everybody will agree with me, and that may change over time. I am a human after all, and like I said earlier, I'm only 28 years old. Shit, dude, I've known people who've had them at like 40 years old. I'm pretty sure there's some billionaire asshole who actually just had one at 82 years old, or some actor. I don't remember who it is. Now listen, man, I get that having kids is a good thing, repopulating society, whatever, right? There are a lot of positives that come from having a child. They give you a purpose, they give you a legacy, and most important, they can give you some comfort as you grow into your older age. And obviously, that's just scratching the surface. There are so many different reasons to have children. Yet with everything positive, I look around and people are still not having kids. If you look around at today's society, it is pretty obvious that things are very, very expensive right now. Everything from housing to groceries to just simple entertainment. I feel like society, at least as of right now, we are so self-consumed, and every corner you turn is filled with greed. Like someone is trying to get in your pocket to take your doubloons, you know? Like they're trying to jump into your pockets and swim laps in there. The average everyday Joe is simply scraping by just to make a fucking rent payment at the end of the month, and you expect him to have a kid or two or three? Shit, man, that's crazy. I remember my mother, God bless her heart, she's an amazing woman, but she said if you want a kid, you'll find a way, which there is some truth to that, I understand. But seriously, man, I'm not bringing a kid into this world until I'm financially stable, which I don't know if I ever will be in today's economy. I just have no idea. Here's the thing, too. I make above what the average person probably makes, and that's not a flex by any means. I live in a pretty comfortable position, and even I don't think I can have a kid right now. I think that would actually bury me into the ground. I'm pretty sure the average annual payments for daycare is around $12,000 right now, which is absurd. And society expects me to go and do that, pay the $12,000 annually, and I can't even get a fucking apartment for anything under $500,000 right now. And I'm talking about actually buying property, because yes, I want to buy property. I don't want to rent for my whole entire life. I know, buying real estate in this economy, what am I, fucking crazy? Yeah, a little bit. The way that I see it is that if I can't even afford a home, have my own property, give myself some stability, how can I have a kid? No, I just don't want to be that parent that moves their kids around all the time. I just don't want to be that parent. I mean, I've seen kids that have moved schools, had to make new friends, and it just doesn't work out the way that their parents probably expect it to. I think having a family really just starts as stability. Now, I'm just going to break off just a little bit because I don't think that this housing situation is going to get any better. I think a lot of people agree with me when it comes to starting a family, you need stability. But with the way everything is going right now, I don't think we'll ever get back to a reasonable point. Now, yes, obviously we've had our crashes throughout the years and people have in fact capitalized and taken advantage of that time, such as the '08 housing crash and COVID 2020 with historically low interest rates. But those are not guaranteed for somebody trying to start their life. Actually, they're very, very rare. Typically, the one fucking consistent thing in this country is that real estate will just keep going up and up and up. Even if it crashes, it'll keep going up and up and up over the long period of time. It's kind of like the fucking stock market, man. But basically, other than those few cases, we will most likely see a steady climb in the housing market. It will essentially be impossible to buy a home for the vast majority of people in this country being the United States, by the way. Maybe in the other countries as well. I don't know what your guys' real estate is looking like over there. Which, if you're in another country, drop a comment below telling me which country. I'd love to hear from you. Now, I feel like Generation Z might be the first generation to never really afford homes, with the rare cases being some people getting in on the housing market during 2020 and some people buying overpriced land and houses. But if you look at the generations after us, especially the generation right behind us, I believe it's called Generation Alpha, they are shit out of luck. And especially the generation right behind them and so forth. So it's almost like when you bring a kid into this life, unless you have inheritance, you're basically just setting them up for fucking failure. I just feel like you're throwing them into the meat grinder at that point, basically guaranteeing that they will not have success in this country unless they become a fucking turbo millionaire or something like that. Now, this is the last thing, and then I'll shut the fuck up about houses and go back to the whole kid situation. But if you want a glimpse into what the USA's future in housing is looking like, go look at Canada and their housing situation. A damn townhouse costs upwards of 2 million clams. That's insane. I don't know my Canada lore, but I think they have never had a housing crash ever in their whole existence. If you're up in Canada, let me know if I'm wrong. Also say what's up. Now, getting back to me having children, you having children, with everything being so expensive like I just talked about, why the hell would we want to bring kids into this world, into this market? Now, some of you may call it selfish, but I call it considerate, because why the hell would I want them to suffer even harder than we as a generation are suffering right now? Yeah, I don't think so. Obviously, you have your outliers like kids with rich parents, people who got inheritance, or even people making incredible money with side hustles or starting a company, or working one of those damn lucrative tech jobs. But like I stated earlier, for the everyday Joe, the average guy, it's just getting harder and harder, and it eventually will be impossible to start a family with stability. Everything is getting more expensive, and every single piece of entertainment is locked behind some damn paywall or subscription service. Gone are the days of the white picket fence and the 1940s factory worker who can own $1 million mansion in today's money and have 14 kids filled river style with fully loaded college funds for just cranking out some stamps at the factory. Now you basically have to be a fucking millionaire just to own a goddamn apartment. Yet our parents are wondering why we don't want to have kids. Like, Mom, I can't even afford frozen chicken nuggets from the grocery store without having to split it up into 4 payments with Klarna. Breaking off from financial reasons, but also kind of tying it back to financial reason. I hear a lot of people stating that they don't want to have kids because they just don't want to give them a bad life, which is where I am on the totem pole. A lot of people grew up in pretty bad situations and don't want to do the same to their kid. I find that very noble and considerate compared to the people who just don't have their shit together and are just pumping out mini-me's left and right, which, by the way, I could never understand how you can do that. Like, I understand accidental pregnancies, but you doing it on purpose, I just don't get you. Why do you do that to your own children? Now, I wanted to play the Uno reverse card right here, the red switcheroo, and throw this into the mix. For the people who did grow up in good circumstances, they also don't want to have kids. This is the case for me. My parents sacrificed so much for me to have a good life and still do. Now, call me selfish, and I probably am for this, but I just don't want to have a kid because I have to live up to the standard of what I grew up in, giving as good of a life, if not a better life, than what I had when I was growing up. And to be honest, I don't think I could ever do that without having to put myself into a very, very tight situation, which in turn would put my child into a very, very tight situation. Another thing that I don't hear a lot of people talk about is the rise of my generation's individualism. My generation being Generation Z, as I have previously stated. This section deserves its own dedicated video for sure, but I just wanted to touch on it a little bit. Now, I've talked about this a little bit in other videos, but I just wanted to touch on how this actually relates to kids. I feel like people just don't want to have them because we're chasing this sense of freedom or the fastest path to it. A lot of people are pushing the whole freelance agenda, you know, really to break out of that 40+ hour a week grind that we all have to do, which I totally understand. It's a new era, you know, the 40-hour+ week grind is fucking outdated and stupid. We have these people on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, blogging on the internet, really whatever, making money doing it. Now, I get that some of that is definitely fake and bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit on the internet, as you guys know. But it's totally understandable for somebody to adopt that mindset, that freelance mindset, to go chase a dream, because a lot of things are actually accessible now. Entrepreneurship and something that you actually enjoy nowadays is not a far-fetched dream anymore. And I feel like having a kid would absolutely butcher this opportunity for the vast majority of people pushing this direction, especially starting in this direction, because it is just one more thing to take care of, something that is emotionally and economically pulling you down. Now, I know I'm making children sound like the goddamn playground now, but there is some truth to it. A lot of people just prefer to have cats or a dog nowadays because yes, it is a commitment, but it's a lot less commitment than a damn kid is. So I feel like with everybody kind of chasing these dreams and chasing this certain lifestyle, having a kid just ain't it, man. And a lot of people forget about this, and I mean a lot of people forget about this, but parenthood is a lifelong commitment, and once you're in it, you better lock in and dedicate your life to it. Personally, I'm trying to chase a dream, and I feel like a lot of people are trying to chase this dream. Just get the mortgage paid off as quick as possible, quit the damn rat race, and go travel with my girlfriend while working part-time at a bookstore or some shit. Okay, maybe that's just my dream, and I know it sounds goofy, but it sounds so mentally relaxing to me. For somebody who's been through a mental fucking threshold over the past decade, it just sounds so damn nice to have that. And by the way, yes, I was one of those people that did buy an overpriced home, so I do have a mortgage. And to say the least, I didn't get those 2020 interest rates. I got fucked on my interest rates, so thank you, America. I appreciate it. But let me tell you something that doesn't sound super relaxing. It's the thought of having J. Will Jr. running around throwing a temper tantrum because I didn't give him enough iPad time. I probably have another good 40 to 70 years on this planet, and it is too damn short for me not to live it the way that I want to. And trust me, I'm not the only one adopting this mentality. A lot of people have these specific dreams as well. We also need to take a step back and look at the mental health epidemic going on in society. It seems like a lot of people my age are having more mental breakdowns than happy moments in their life, including myself. I guess I'm just a statistic, which is fine, but it seems like a lot of people are just not mentally ready to have kids and won't be for some time. It feels like we're all damn children out here, which I guess we are. We really never grew up. I don't know if you guys feel that, but I feel like Generation Z really never grew up all that well. Maybe some of us did. I don't fucking know. But obviously there are more factors to it than just a financial situation. I know I've been talking about financials a lot in here, but it really does mean a lot. Financials are a big thing in today's society. But the other side of the coin are mental things like depression, anxiety, and trauma, and overall just not liking where they are in life, which is a lot of people right now. Like I've been stating throughout this whole entire video, a lot of people just aren't comfortable in their skin right now. A lot of people aren't comfortable in their situation. It's fucking truly tragic, honestly. Like I said earlier, gone are the days of the white picket fence and the 1940s fucking factory worker making millions of dollars per year. Gone are those days. I guess what I mean by that are the simple times are gone, and I don't think they'll ever return. Like I said earlier, I feel like our generation, they're just kids. I feel like we're all still just kids. And that may be a hot take, but that's what I see when I look at my peers. Not really wanting to grow up, but being forced to grow up, which I might just be 100% certified yapper at this point, but I feel like that is just causing such a mental wear on our brains. Overall, why would people want to bring children into this world if they don't even have themselves mentally stable enough to bring children into this world? I guess some people do, and fuck those people, frankly. But for the smart people, we're just not mentally ready, I guess. The last thing I wanted to touch on is relationships. Tell me, when is the last time you went on a date? Or at least a good one? Your answer is probably never, because dating fucking sucks in today's age. Again, gone are the days of simplicity. Seems like everyone and their mother is hiding behind dating apps, searching for their perfect man or woman, endlessly swiping, but getting nowhere with it. So with all this being said, people are just interacting with each other a lot less than they used to, which is obviously causing this fucking huge rift when it comes to having kids, because if people don't like each other or people aren't finding each other, then there's no children that could be made. No, I know I just did a whole lot of rambling, and I appreciate you guys sticking around for it. But anyways, dating sucks. Mental health sucks. Nobody can afford anything. So why would you want to bring a kid into the world? Couldn't be me. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.